Boost, aka Dish. I think that we need to start talking about them now that I'm
Okay.
actually taking them as a serious. No, I'm
Yeah,
serious.
but I can't predict Dish. I could predict Dish for next year.
No. Let's say just the subscribers that they added for Boost, as an example.
I'm gonna have them at 100,000 lost.
Lost. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. What about let's do Verizon. This is the big one.
I'm gonna put them at 180,000 ads. Net ads.
Okay.
160, 180.
Let's do AT&T next.
AT&T, I want to go with. I was gonna say on the low end, I wanted to lean towards 700,000, and on the high end, I was gonna say 800,000 net ads. So let's go seven. We'll do 750,000.
Okay, and then T-Mobile.
1.1 million net ads. That's what it always is. However they do it, it's fine.
Oh shit. Okay. I think Boost did 85,000
ads.
Ads. Verizon, I'm actually gonna go against this, Sneed, against your prediction. I think they're negative a second quarter in a row. Negative 225,000.
It's crazy.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Moose, hear me out.
Yeah.
They've never had 2 consecutive bad quarters.
That's correct.
And they've only had losses in the first quarter ever.
Right.
So they've never had a quarter 2 with losses.
I'm telling you, Sneed, man.
They've never had a quarter 3 or a quarter 4 with losses. You get what I'm saying? You're telling me that something is about to happen that has never happened before.
Yes. 2
things that have never happened before. They've never had consecutive losses in quarters, and they've never had a bad Q2, Q3, or Q4.
This is on record. This is the prediction.
Bro, you're basically saying like the stars are gonna have to align perfectly for this to happen. It's so unlikely.
It's not perfect. Listen, I'm predicting that it's gonna get even worse once Dish comes into the market. Why?
Moose,
because people don't have. I'm telling you, they're not gonna pay.
You're telling me that 2 things are gonna happen that have never happened before.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What's the sense?
And I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this is the craziest times we live in. Verizon has been losing market share on levels unprecedented. You know this. Known this.
You're saying that 2 things are going to happen that have never happened before. You're not even saying 1 thing. 2.
Yes.
Bruh.
You know, like I do.
Okay.
You know what's going on internally at Verizon.
Okay,
you know,
I understand. I understand that, but I still can't predict 2 things that have never happened before are going to happen at the same time.
Okay, we'll see on what is it, July 22nd or July 23rd or whatever the day is. We'll see. 8 a.m. Eastern. I'm telling you, Steve,
we need to poll the nation. All right. Number 1, if you agree with Moose, Verizon is going to have a second consecutive losing quarter. And have its first losing quarter ever in a Q2, Q3, or Q4. 1, if you agree with Moose. 2, if you disagree with Moose. I have to know if people see it my way, because I might be looking at it wrong. You know, maybe they see it like you. I have no idea. Dude, it's like probabilities, Moose. What is the most likely outcome? You know,
so what was your number 2 option? Disagree
with Moose.
Okay.
You know,
and we got an overwhelming 1 right now, Doug.
I don't. Okay, when you flip a coin 10 times, what's the probabilities?
Well, each time you flip is always 50-50.
Okay, so the most likely outcome is you're going to get 5 heads, 5 tails, or some variation of like 4 and 6. Those are the highest percentage probabilities. That's how I'm playing this. Why would you? You're picking the most unlikely thing to happen. They're going to have 2 consecutive losing.
I've been talking to a lot of people.
Oh, and then Alexis comes in. Okay, you're all right, Alexis. Fine. There is a third side, the edge. All right, fine. Whatever. You can't land it on the edge.
I'm telling you, Steve, man, it's unprecedented times. If I'm right, look, how many times have I told you I've picked the winners of the NBA conferences?
But Moose, you've been wrong in your predictions as much as I've been wrong.
It is what it is. But this one, I feel it to my gut, man. There's too many people upset about Verizon bills. They're leaving. They're done. They're never
Moose.
coming back. So, anyways, okay, I'm not done with the predictions. Okay, T-Mobile. I think they're gonna do 1.9 to 2.2 million.
Holy crap! A 2 million ads quarter for T-Mobile?
Dude, it was very aggressive, man. Extremely aggressive this quarter, man. You know how many promos they were doing? How many ads they were doing?
They did a really nice job of promoting it too, but I still got them at 1.2. I feel like a 1.5 is realistic. I was just shooting a little bit low.
I'm telling you, I was super, man. I mean, well, keep in mind, they're always gonna say this, but they're like, oh, well, these numbers could be better if the Sprint churn was not there, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the Sprint churn is real, man. I mean, we got people that as soon as they get the TNX SIM, it's done.
I know that a lot of former Sprint customers are going to AT&T. And some of them are staying with T-Mobile, and some are going to Verizon. Not as many. I think it might be a pricing thing. Maybe AT&T is a little bit better, for a single line or two lines or something like that. Man. I'm still hung up on this freaking Verizon thing, dude.
2 consecutive quarters. Sneed, wow. I'm telling you, man. Let me ask you this: what happens if they only do like positive 10,000 or under 100,000? What would you say? Was that a horrible quarter?
Yeah.
So that would also check mark my prediction, right? That it's bad.
I think if you can't add 200,000 subscribers, net phone ads. If you can't add 200,000, you underperformed completely. Because you've been advertising. We've been seeing Verizon commercials, right?
Yeah, but I mean, Tyrone said this already. He was like, we had one Saturday Night Live commercial lady, right? The blonde lady, and it lost its sparkle. It was like whatever.
If they can't, and I don't think they're going to hit 200,000. I think they're going to be shy of it. I was leaning towards 160 to like 180,000. I also think that Comcast, with Spectrum and Xfinity, Charter and Comcast, I think they're going to continue to add about 500,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about those. Okay,
we have to count them in terms of like those are accounts that are on the Verizon network, but they're not as profitable. But Verizon doesn't mind because they don't have to serve those customers directly, right? So that's how Verizon looks at it. They look at them like business accounts.
It's a wholesale, technically.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a whole, yeah. But the problem is,
well, hold on, wholesale's MVNO. Those are not. That's not MVNO access. That's more like agency.
Right. Yeah. So
they're like business accounts.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is that
they're QCI 8, right?
Yeah, the Spectrum Mobile. Yeah, that's crazy how they're on the middle tier QCI for Verizon.
It's the same as the Playmore.
You see, this is crazy. But let me tell you this, man. If Verizon does a consecutive negative quarter, Hans Vestberg is out. I'm predicting it now.
He's on the hot seat.
If he does anything, bro, he should, at the minimum, reduce plans. People would come back. Yeah. If he just does one thing, goes to the beach and says, I'm going to reduce pricing. That's it.
But that's not his MO. It just doesn't seem that way.
it's it's a
The
sad day, man.
premium. Remember the premium, the
Yeah,
upsell, the high what do you call them? The high quality customer, was it?
yeah, that alienated a lot of people, Sneed, man. Oh,
Just the
I'm
verbiage pissed off a lot of people.
exactly. Oh, I'm not a
Yeah.
premium customer. I'm not a high quality customer. I'm not what
It's
you're
so
expecting. I'm gonna take my business elsewhere. That's what people were saying, because people
yeah.
don't want to be alienated, dog. They don't.
And who opened up those customers? Who opened with open arms accepted them?
T-Mobile
And
and
AT&T.
AT&T and AT&T
Yeah. And Comcast.
and yeah, Xfinity, right?
Yeah,
Spectrum
Charter.
Mobile, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, Steenman, because the predictions that we're predicting, I'm telling you,
What do we
I
have? A June 20 something for AT&T
no July 20,
or
July
July
20,
20
yeah,
something?
yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, man. It's here's another question for you. How many fiber net ads did AT&T do this quarter? We already know that the SMT is on deck for this quarter.
What did they had last quarter? 350?
Uh, yeah, like three. Yeah,
350K?
yeah, yeah.
We'll go 450K. Yeah,
So they're ramping
I
up.
think it's a little higher. Yeah, because they're ramping up and
Yeah,
the pandemic restrictions are gone. They're
Corning's producing
mostly
more fiber.
exactly the fiber spool trucks are out. The surveying
You've
is
seen them.
out.
You've
Oh
seen
yeah,
them.
yeah. And if they've been active here, then they're active elsewhere. So
There have to be. I mean, there's so much
yeah.
to do.
Would I be
Um,
surprised if they crack 500K? Not really, but I do think it's a little bit on the upside. So I'm gonna go 450K.
Let me ask you this: what do you think about? We forgot to mention this. Is Verizon or a T-Mobile going to actually talk about their fixed wireless numbers this quarter?
No, no, they won't.
Still,
No, the churn on it, the T-Mobile churn for home internet is awful.
what are we? What is it at? Like 4%,
I don't know.
5%,
It's
and
they won't report it.
what's your prediction on it? Is it like more than 50% of anybody that
First of
gets it?
all, first of all, I think Verizon and AT&T are going to have great churn numbers, and then T-Mobile branded churn rate will be very good too. But the Sprint is going to be terrible again, so they're going to keep that separate.
Jesus.
And but like
Hmm.
that'll probably be high. It'll be like 1.5 or whatever, so and they'll make sure that they separate it. When do we get the T-Mobile numbers? Like August 1st for
Oh
Q2?
God, it takes them so much time compared to
Yeah.
the big two.
They're
It's
always
ridiculous.
later. They're like 3 to 4 weeks later.
I feel like they're trying to manipulate the numbers, man. No joke. I mean, it doesn't take that long to
I don't
figure
know.
out the numbers.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but I expect them a few weeks after Verizon and AT&T. I think we're getting Verizon first.
I believe so. Yeah.
The one thing I don't like is Verizon is not, and this is a Hans thing most definitely.
Hmm.
They're not disclosing EBITDA anymore. All the
Yeah.
other carriers do.
Why do you think that is? If they're the most profitable,
It's not it's I don't know, man. I think the reason they don't, there must be some metric that's hidden somewhere. Not EBITDA. There's something else that equates to negative like a negative spin on EBITDA.
so if
That
you're saying
so
that if they report EBITDA, it's bad for them. That's why they don't report it anymore.
it doesn't look good to investors. So they're like, well, we don't need to report it. We're going to report these other ways.
Hmm.
Because the first thing they do is revenue increased. Their revenue is going to go up again. Remember, they're finding ways to make themselves more profitable.
Hmm.
And it's not just the premium upsell to customers, premium unlimited.
Hmm.
They're becoming more the ownership group, right? It's the one fiber. More of their towers have their own native fiber. More of their small cells are now owned and operated by them. Moose, they have about 50 small cells in the CLE so far that I've counted. It's like 3 or 4 dozen that are off. They're not on. Well, they're not broadcasting. They're powered on,
Right.
but the fiber is not connected.
Right. The fiber.
It's theirs that they want to put there. So they're willing to sit it out until they can get the fiber there.
And you're talking about Verizon.
Verizon.
Yeah.
So their ARPU, Their profitability is up. Their revenue is up. And that's what Hans is going to hang his hat on. Hey, look what I'm doing for the company. We're making more money per customer. The total revenue is going up. Everything's good here, which is wrong. There's no growth. AT&T is giving you some growth and giving you profitability. And then T-Mobile is the growth carrier. We'll take on every customer we can. We're going to sell home internet no matter how good or crappy it is for you. We're going to sell you mobile service. We got Magenta Max. We got Essentials. We want you if you don't have much money. We want you if you have a lot of money. We don't care. We want you. Bro, T-Mobile will fight for your business. That is 100% fact. No carrier will compete as fiercely for business as T-Mobile.